What's going on, YouTube? In today's video, I wanted to talk about worry-free or penalty-free drops after 10 minutes at the restaurants on DoorDash. I've talked about this subject before, but I had my first order today was a IHOP order, and I get there and there's another driver there that's all huffy and puffy because of the amount of wait time that he had. And I'm going to do a members only video today, and the full story of that will be in that video. But anyway, guys, that with DoorDash and any of these gig apps, I mean, it's kind of it just makes good business sense here that they don't want drivers waiting 20, 30, 45 minutes inside these restaurants for your typical, orders paying like $4 to $8 or whatever. So there's other orders that need to be picked up and delivered. So if you have a driver sitting somewhere for a half hour not doing anything, that's, you're not accomplishing anything. It's best to have that driver unassign, wait a few minutes, send another driver in there. I think it's just kind of weird to me that there's probably still dashers out there that don't know about the 10-minute drops. Okay, I've been dashing since the end of 2022, and that's been in place the whole time I've been a dasher. Okay, so here's some tips, strategies, what to do as far as 10-minute drops go. This is how I handle all of my restaurant orders. Okay, when I get to a restaurant for a food pickup, okay, I mark that I've arrived at the location, and then as I'm getting out of my car, I set my stopwatch. So I pull up the stopwatch on my phone, hit start, and the timer's now rolling. Okay, now a couple things about that timer. And I'm assuming everything's still the same from when I tried all these things out a couple years ago, but so when DoorDash allows you to click arrive at store within a quarter of a mile of arriving, okay, that if you hit arrive at store and you're like a quarter of a mile away and start your timer, that time does not count. So I wait to click on that I've arrived when I'm actually in the parking lot and parked in a spot, and as I'm getting out of my car, then I start the timer. And you have to stay either like inside the restaurant or like in the immediate like parking lot. I'd say within, I don't know, 50 to 100 feet of the store, you have to stay within for all of your time to count. Now, if you leave and come back, then your 10-minute time has to start all over again. So for example, I had one time a stacked order, IHOP and Popeyes, which is across the street. So there was going to be a wait at the IHOP, so I switched tasks, went across the street, got the Popeyes, and came back. Well, and then your 10 minutes starts all over again when you come back. Okay, so just keep that in mind on stacked orders. Okay, so you have to wait more than 10 minutes. So when my timer gets up to 10 and a half minutes, then that's when you're going to go into on your, oh, and let me back up a second. Another thing here is when you're in the restaurant waiting, you're checking your emails or on Facebook or doing whatever, keep going back to the DoorDash, the app, keep pulling that open in your pickup screen, because it's not very often, but sometimes DoorDash will allow you to drop an order before the 10-minute mark. So I just had one like yesterday. So I set my timer, went inside the store, and it was just like 7 minutes later, I got the prompt from DoorDash that if I wanted to drop it. And then of course I went ahead and dropped it there, you know, penalty free. But anyway, so but otherwise you had to wait more than 10 minutes. So when my timer gets to 10.5 minutes, that's when I go back to my pickup screen. You know, you click on the help symbol or whatever it is, and then you can either click on store has an issue or I have an issue, either one. And then you'll see long wait at the store. And then after you click on that, you want to see the words on there that unassign, worry-free unassign. And you'll also see that if you unassign this, you will not be penalized. Okay, those are the words you want to look for. And if you see that, then you can go ahead and unassign the order. But if it says you will be penalized for dropping this order, then you haven't waited your 10.5 minutes yet. So just go back to the pickup screen, you know, wait another minute or so, and then just keep going back to it. But anyway, that's in a nutshell, that's everything pretty much that you need to know for 10-minute drops. You know, guys, don't think that you have to wait in a for like a $6 order, that you have to wait inside the store 30 minutes or else you'll get penalized for dropping it. No, it's 10.5 minutes. Now also on some, depending on how much the order is paying, so, you know, you don't, obviously you don't have to drop the orders. If it's paying enough money, you can wait longer. So a couple examples of that, I think it was the day before yesterday, I had an order paying $11, and it was just delivering 2 miles away from the Burger King. And so that one, I waited 15 minutes on that one, and it was a large order. Like I said, it's paying me $11, only 2 miles. I didn't have any problems at all waiting the 5 extra minutes on that one. The longest I've ever waited is about 40 minutes. I waited on a catering order one time from Chipotle. That's because I knew that it was going to probably pay somewhere in that $40 to $70 range. I can't remember the exact amount on this particular order, but even with the 40-minute wait at the restaurant, I had everything done start to finish in less than an hour. So that was still a profitable order. So you want to pick and choose when you drop orders, you know, based on how much, you know, the order's paying or how much you think it's going to be paying, and also based on it, you know, how much longer you think it's going to take. For example, this IHOP order from this morning, I knew this was going to take way more than 10 minutes. So as soon as that 10.5 minutes, boom, I dropped it, because there's only one staff member in there cooking the food. So and as you do this more, you'll get a better feel for it of you know, when to drop orders and everything. So anyway, that's all I have for now, guys. Thanks so much for watching. As always, be sure to drive safe out there, and we'll catch you at the next video. Thanks again.